A good film is one that entertains, educates, and inspires. It should be well made and thought provoking, with a strong plot and believable characters. A good film can make you think about the world in a new way and leave you with a lasting impression. Sound of Freedom review, guys. It was a request. Some of you guys requested that I go out and I watch this film and let you know what I personally thought about it. If you're going to focus on the fact that it's a low budget film, if you're going to focus on the fact that it didn't have the perfect transitions, if you're going to focus on the fact that character development seemed a little bit shy, then this isn't the film that you're going to want to see. When I came into the theater, completely zero on the mind, I caught a late night show, 11:45, in Staten Island. And one of the things that I will have to say about this film is that it is entirely gripping. There's not a moment that you're in the theater watching this film and you're not constantly thinking about how sick and disgusting this world is. Now, we know that it's a low-budget film, so we don't have to go into the details of that. But this unique review from the cinema scale is going to focus more on the awareness that the film brought. Now, it has a lot of hate going on in the film, but at the same time, it has a lot of praise. And when you guys come onto my YouTube channel, my objective is not to sway you or persuade you into my personal opinion, but it's to be able to let you know as to how this movie fares in connection with the scale of wholesome, healthy entertainment. Because a movie's main objective is to create a lasting impression. When I walked out of that theater, I was impressed. When it comes to a topic such as child sex trafficking, there is no easy way to cultivate or develop a film like that. There were scenes that were in the film that were done in a very precise way. I really appreciate the care that the director had in keeping the audience in mind. That's very important when it comes to making a great film. And in this video, we're going to talk about what you can expect from The Sound of Freedom. One thing you can expect is reality. The reality of the situations that we face in life in connection with these threats or these challenges or these things that are prevalent are real. They are everyday challenges. And because it may not have affected you or your family, that doesn't mean that you should turn a blind eye. Now, some people are arguing that the film is political. I would have to say no. The film does not dive into politics, but it focuses on just how insane humans have gotten when it comes to dealing with one another. You have persons paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for children, and it's deplorable. It's very difficult to be able to express that to you guys in this review. I know that there are some parts of the film that drag. They drag a bit, and you're trying to figure out where the dialogue is. And then there are some other parts of the film where it's like, okay, it just seems like we're rushing here, that character development is shy. But you have to factor in the fact that with a film like this, there's not much room entirely for gray because it's a very, very serious topic. So looking at the film, looking at the direction the director wanted to go in, looking at the idea that they had, it was done beautifully. The plot involves story arc and plausibility based on a true story. And the plausibility knocked it out of the water. The attraction, the premise, and the entertainment value. One thing that I could really say that I appreciated from this film based on these two factors is that even though it can be very difficult to find a subject like this entertaining, it's still a subject that at some point has to be discussed. And because of the nature of the world that we live in today, it's not easy to address certain topics with certain people because of their mindset. People can get offended. There are people who can be struggling with PTSD. There are people who may be living this truth right now. So they did that very masterfully. Particularly, though, the title of the film, Sound of Freedom. What does that involve? What does freedom sound like? Number 3, the identity and the depth. You could identify with the characters. Family man, trying to make things right. Works a government job, but not always having that support. That's identity. We all work jobs in which we don't have support. And then the depth aspect of it. Going the extra mile. Now, of course, this is based on a true story, but the way they portrayed the depth that he was willing to go, even giving up some personal gains, that was conveyed very nicely in the theme. The acting, characters, and performance. We know that the actor involved in this production played Jesus in the Passions of the Christ. And one of the things that I found to be of interest is he had made mention that this was the second hardest role he ever had to play. This is Jim Caviezel, and he did a very, very good job. You can really feel the drama in connection with the role, the emotions that he had to bring to play such a role. So I'm gonna hats off to the performance for the acting, characters, and performance. The dialogue, the storytelling, and the context. The dialogue it wasn't much dialogue, I'm going to be honest with you guys, but you will be able to understand the story and feel some certain emotion from the dialogue, because the story that they're telling is one that is true. It's not a story that is made up or fiction, and they did that very well. I will say, though, cinematography-wise, transitions were a little bit slow. It was just low-budget transitioning, of course. Nothing too great or crazy about their wardrobe costume. We're talking about men in Colombia. They dressed as regular Spanish men in this trade, in this environment. So, I mean, nothing, no harm, no foul there. The editing, the pace, and the effects in connection with the film, it definitely kept a pace. From one scene to the next, you knew where you were going, you understood why you were going there, and they kept that going throughout the film until its conclusion. They also included real-life clips of things that are happening. That was how the movie began. The soundtrack. We know that there was a beautiful song in the film featured by Shakira that involves the sound design and the film score, and I really enjoyed how the young girl, her voice was highlighted in the film. That's very, very popular in other countries where music is a language of emotion and love, and that was very masterfully conveyed, even down to the end of the film. The directing, the vision, and the execution. There was a vision, there was execution. When you left that theater, there was no doubt in your mind that there are sick things happening on this planet, and that you want to do something about it, even if it's just something as small as making people aware of this film. The director did a wonderful job handling this film, and it was nice to note that the director, he did play he played very well on the heartstrings. I really thought that he did very well in connection with playing on the heartstrings of the audience, being able to help the audience to feel as though they were part of this story and that there is hope at the end of the tunnel. I thought that was a very nice execution. And then finally, number 10 on the cinema scale, the it factor, what made it one of a kind and transcendent. I will say the one of a kind aspect is it's a film that up until this moment in time, right, the year 2023, let's get real for a minute with you guys, you're dealing with children. And even though this film was in production several years ago, to release it now at this time, that takes courage, that takes strength, and that takes a serious amount of endurance and stamina. It's a perseverance that the film has to rise above the challenges that were thrown upon it. I thought that was wonderful. There is a video message about 2 minutes and 20 seconds after the film that encourages you to watch the film and to share it with other people. They even set up a nice pay forward ticket arrangement so that if someone can't afford to see the film, they can be able to watch it or get tickets gifted from another person. They even may mention that they're not interested, or when they made this film, they're not interested in revenue, but rather they're interested in helping people become aware of what children are dealing with in connection with sex trafficking. I think that if you are someone who this topic is affected, or you want to bring awareness to this, because it's no different from other aspects of life that we just don't know. It's always good to educate yourself. Watch the film. Watch the film. If you can't afford it, catch it on the matinee. But it's one of those movies that really draws out just how much humans have put upon one another. It's rough. Always a pleasure to talk to you guys here on the Cinema Scale. I know that the undertone of this particular video was serious when you're dealing with a topic like that, of course. But we love you guys, and we cherish each and every one of you. Love all of my 240 subscribers, and I'm so grateful that you guys are here with me. Because with you guys, this channel can be successful. No matter how many subscribers, no matter how many watch time hours, it's all about the perseverance and endurance. We love you guys. Thank you for tuning into R.E.D. Podcasting. Peace out.